What is going on, everybody?
That's pretty good.
Welcome back. It's Lex, and today we got another review for you guys. Except this time, it seems like now, hopefully, week by week, becoming more and more of a co-host. We got Don for this one.
hmm
What's up, man?
Yes, what's up? What's up, man? It's a pleasure to be here. How's it
Hell
going?
yeah, it's going good, man. I'm excited
Yeah.
to talk about this one. I just saw it recently. Today we're going to be talking about Alien Romulus. So,
Okay. What day did you see it on?
I don't know, maybe like 2 days ago.
Gotcha. How was the theater?
The theater? Nah, bro, I was on my couch.
My
You
gosh,
feel me?
bro.
You feel me?
No, I don't feel you, bro.
I didn't go out for. I
Yeah,
couldn't
you
go out
gotta
for
do
this
better than
one.
this.
I couldn't. I
You
couldn't.
gotta do better than that.
I couldn't support the local AMC or whatever it's
Terrible.
called.
To anybody out there listening, support your theaters.
No, no,
They may not be here for much longer.
nah, bro. They'll be here.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
They're like that. What do you
I
call
don't even
it?
know if they know.
They're always gonna be there, bro. It's just gonna be like,
Hey, we said that about Blockbuster, and look where it's at.
gonna be more
You know,
scarce or whatever.
we said the same thing about video stores. Look where that's at.
But video stores were always like something about it seemed like temporary. Even the whole
And
like,
movie theaters don't seem temporary when people like you are watching new movies from your couch. Okay,
bro. Allegedly, okay, allegedly.
bro. No, you said it. I mean, they could definitely use that $12 that that you're deciding to skimp out on, but it's okay.
I mean, okay, dude, with the streaming platforms and streaming with music, streaming with movies nowadays, TV shows, we're going into a whole new
Ooh.
era of things, okay? But people still love that feeling
Everybody in
of
the chat, let's boo this man.
they still love that feeling of going out. Everybody has to eventually go out. This is not Wally. We're not Wally. We're freaking just on whatever the seat is and just roaming around or whatever. That's
I
not
mean, it's getting to that point, you know.
no, bro. I don't think
This
so.
early.
I think that's
Hey,
not.
man,
I think
AI and all
that's.
that good stuff.
I think
know?
that's nihilistic thinking.
Anyway, go out and support your local theaters, everyone.
Listen, I'm someone. I'm cheering that out as well. Go.
This movie made $100 million without you, Lex. Let's just start there.
Unfortunately, without me. Okay. Unfortunately, without
Not
me.
unfortunately, bro. You know what you were doing.
I had to stay
had a
home.
plan.
I had to stay home. I got a care package from the internet gods or whatever, and then I was able to screen it at home. Because they gave me a screener. But listen, I'm telling you, that's not neither here or there. We're here to talk about the movie itself. Okay.
Yes,
So,
yes. Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, what is your history with the Alien franchise?
So let me just give you a whole like backstory a little bit, dude, because like I grew up watching the Sci-Fi Channel, not because of my own thing, but my mom, dude, she was so into like these sci-fi movies. Maybe watching them a little too early on as a child, got a little traumatized with certain movies. But come on the Sci-Fi Alien was always coming out, right? Or Predator was always coming out. So that's kind of how I got introduced into the whole world of it. The first one I could really remember is when everybody was talking about Alien versus Predator. Do you remember that? That's the one I could really recall that people were like hyped about. Especially back in the day. Like I felt like that versus thing was going on for a little bit with Freddy versus Jason or whatever.
Yeah, it was long overdue. The fact that there had been comics and stuff, but there hadn't been a movie about it yet, so there was very much time for it. So now Lathan was in it. I like it. I like the movie. I do have a few glaring issues with that movie, and that's that I don't think that it would take two predators to take out one alien, but or one xenomorph rather. But that's neither
Man,
here nor there. I think that might have been the first alien movie that I saw in its entirety. I've already seen like bits and pieces of the other ones. And I didn't see the original Alien until a few months ago. They re-released it in theaters for the 35th anniversary. That was a sight to see. I'm glad that I was able to actually see that.
yeah, like dude, I was a kid watching this, so I was gonna say like I'm not someone who like has gone back and like how you just mentioned right now. You went to go back and rewatch them. I haven't rewatched them at all, so this is kind of my reintroduction. Well, actually, that's not true because I did watch Prey. Remember we were talking about that the last video as well. So. But that's not necessarily aliens, right? Those are two different
universe.
Yeah. You see what it mean? Like they created a thing where now Alien and Predator are like
it's almost like they're codependent in a sense, but
it's like the goddamn like Marvel universe, except for for whatever owns them or whatever. But,
I got you. But I mean, after that, I've seen Prometheus, and I had seen like bits and pieces of Alien Covenant, And I'll mention later about how I recently rewatched those two movies in particular and how that changed my score for this film.
I'm
We'll
hearing
get
a
into
lot
it.
of good things about Prometheus. Like, apparently, it wasn't
It's
necessarily such an alien movie, but it was kind of like,
It was definitely different. A lot of story beats are kind of samey from what we've seen in the past. When it comes to it structuring the universe, that's where it really thrives. I do feel like it answers too many questions that shouldn't have been answered. You know, like things that made the original movie great was the fact that we didn't really know anything going into it. You know, we knew about as much as the main characters did. So I think that was like the thing that made that movie so great. With Prometheus, there have been 20 some odd years of lore that we now know. And it's just like, how are they gonna MacGuffin this particular plot element and make it make sense in the future?
so it's setting
But
up like lore wise, like kind of
yeah,
like
so
fitting in
Prometheus is
pieces.
a so Prometheus is a prequel, and I
Hmm.
believe at the time when it came out, it was like the earliest alien moment in the entire chronology.
Right.
So yeah, this is like the beginning of time, pretty much. This is Genesis of the Alien franchise, in a sense.
The genesis of the Alien franchise. That's
Yeah.
even that sounds kind of crazy, you know?
Right. And I mean, there have been a lot of like, comparisons between this and the Bible, which is kind of crazy too. Just religion plays a big part in the Alien franchise, which I think is hilarious in a sense. Prometheus is definitely the Genesis. Hmm.
I feel like I've heard a lot of good things about that. I mean, it's just crazy to think that like all these movies are like connected to one another or whatever like that. Like,
There's always been, there's always going to be an overarching story. Just the fact that we're so far in the future and still things are just unknown, and there are these aliens that are just these creatures that are, pristine evolution of life. And it's like, okay, what are we gonna do with this information? Are we just gonna destroy them or let them do what they want to do?
well, from what I was seeing, it's like they're called like the perfect beings or something like that. They even mention it
Hmm.
in this
Yeah,
movie,
the,
like,
the perfect organism.
which I didn't really understand. Like, are they saying those aliens are the perfect organism?
Yeah,
Like,
so that's supposed to be like the evolution of life. Like that's where everything is supposed to head is to them. Like humans, cool. Of course, we got the androids in this universe. That's fine too.
yeah,
But the
which I liked.
alien, the xenomorph, yeah, the xenomorph is where we're really supposed to be,
Yeah,
supposedly, according to Wayland and Yutani, the evil corporation that is furthering the push of these things.
which it was
You know,
never named in this movie. They just kept calling
what's
it
that?
the corporation, right?
Yeah, yeah. So that's just because you have to watch the other movies, pretty much. Because
Yeah,
this movie takes place between the original Alien movie and the second movie called Aliens. So this is between those two. So we know that things are weird with the company. Nobody really knows what the company's motives are still to that day. And yeah, interesting stuff.
yeah. So let's. I want to get into this movie because, like I said, I didn't watch any of the ones before like that. So
Hmm.
now getting into this one, it was like kind of in the trailers. It made it seem like it was supposed to be like a horror movie. It's supposed to be like scary, but
Yeah,
I didn't
especially with
necessarily feel that way.
yeah, Fede Alvarez, who's the director of this one. He also directed Don't Breathe and Evil Dead 2013. Have you seen any of those two?
No.
They're horror movies.
Yeah.
So, the Alien franchise has always had like this horror undertone because it's like at the end of the day, it's entirely body horror. It's something being born within a human body and just being extracted in some kind of crazy way. So it kind of makes sense that they went and tapped a horror director for this film. Um, I do find it funny how noticeable Ridley Scott's involvement with this film is. I can tell the moments that Fede Alvarez really wanted to push a particular narrative or go a certain way with the movie, but either Ridley Scott or the production company was like, "No, we need to keep it within our franchise. We need to go back and keep it the way that we need it to be, and just throw in like a random reference from one of the older movies." But I get why that's done. I just feel like that with certain franchises, like the Marvel franchise and even Star Wars, like it just does not work anymore.
What do you
I feel
mean?
like it's gotten really old. Just the fact that like in Star Wars, it's just always that moment that they want it to be. Like they always want another moment to be when Luke finds out that Darth Vader's his dad. When someone dies, it's just always a moment. When someone kind of just goes, way out into the force and they get all these different powers, it's just always a moment. Like they're setting it up and it's super obvious. I mean, The Force Awakens has this problem with it being basically a new hope. Yeah, it's just like where they're just regurgitating the same story. And this movie, unfortunately, does the same thing. Like this movie has a lot of the same heartbeats that made the original Alien what it is. story wise, I should say.
I felt like the cast, like you could kind of tell where they were going with it, and they moved pretty quickly in this movie.
Yeah.
As I like from the moment the movie started to the moment where they got into the ship, like I first thought it was, maybe this is gonna be like a heist movie because they were mentioning like, hey, we need to get into this thing to go into a different planet so we can like
Yeah, be better at life.
be better at
Trying to escape the mining colony that they live in.
Yeah, I felt like that beginning part they moved pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, it was very exposition heavy, which made sense. Like we knew what kind of movie we were getting ourselves into. So it's like, okay, let's go ahead and fast forward and get to the stuff that everybody wants to see, which is them be terrified and not know anything about what's happening to.
But I felt like we kind of got to learn a little bit of what the characters. They did give us a little bit of backstory throughout the movie, especially like we got to see the reason why that teenager or guy didn't like the android or whatever. Like I was like, why are they ever gonna mention that? And then they eventually did. So like I felt like they were trying to kind of tell you a little bit about the characters as they go. But spoiler alert, like these characters do not do not. I mean, you can learn about them, but they were pretty as fast as they came in. If it eventually it just feels like, okay,
in the Alien franchise, these people are here to keep the body count high, because I'll go to another one of my issues with this movie. This movie does not have a lot of people in it, and when it comes to alien films, I feel like these things are best when there are a lot of people that can perish. But I get that this movie is telling a more intimate tale with like 6 people on the ship. So I get why they decided to make that decision, but it made for a less exciting experience overall.
Really?
Absolutely.
I felt like there was moments that were pretty, if they weren't hype, but they were definitely like, okay, this was kind of interesting.
There were great moments in this movie, but what people normally go to an Alien for is like, okay, I don't want to get attached to this character because I know they're going to die, but I also want to know how they're going to die. But with this movie, there just weren't enough people to actually wonder. Like, I knew who wasn't going to make it by the end of this movie.
That is something that caught me off guard.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard.
I mean, and especially even with the trailers that they show, like you can tell who's going to make it and who's not going to make it.
I honestly thought they were all going to make it. I'll be honest with you.
Didn't.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Bro, did you see the trailer?
No, I didn't see the trailer.
So you thought that, okay. Look at the poster right here. You think that she's okay?
I thought they were gonna figure out. Okay, call me an optimist.
Once a face hugger gets on you, it's over. That alien is getting out of you some way.
I want to mention that like once they got to the ship, I feel like that's where the movie's. I feel like you kind of can even start the movie there. Like once they get to the ship, it's like, okay, here we're going. Now we're putting our foot on the gas here.
Right. But you need that exposition you got to feel something for the characters,
Yeah, I would say so. But
without that beginning moment, and even, with that one guy saying, oh, this is why I don't like androids, we wouldn't really feel anyway.
That dude was sipping on some haterade, bro.
Yeah. He was heavy with the hateration, but I get it, I completely get it. I can't be mad at him.
I felt like, see, this is the thing about like robots and shit. I kind of like the girl's perspective, like the main character's perspective. I don't remember her name. Because she had a level of empathy for the machine. She even called him.
That was her brother. Yeah.
Yeah. Where the other guys kind of saw them like, oh, they only have a duty to do, which they even portray that in the movie itself.
Yeah.
But
I was like, there we go.
But I felt like the real Andy, the real version of the robot, before they actually gave him I don't even know what that disc was. I thought it was supposed to be
just think of it like a memory card.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, and I was like, man, like I really miss the beginning character.
Yeah, because he was super sympathetic. You felt bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he almost seemed like he didn't want to be an android, but he just kind of had to be.
Yeah,
and his name is Andy.
Dude,
can't be mad at an Andy.
He had to be my favorite character of the movie. I was so caught off by surprise because they put in the front lines like the human characters and all that. Like, I mean, like I said, I didn't watch the trailers, but like it was the human characters, and for him to be like the one where I gravitated the most to.
He had the heart. He was the heart of the movie.
Yes, dude. Yes.
And the fact that he also had like a dual role to play. Yeah, I think that's what really did it for me too.
Yes, man.
Like once he got the chip and was acting different, doing different things, I was like, okay, yeah, there we go.
Bro, he was playing his ass off. Sometimes he
Yeah.
was outshining the main star, I felt like.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me look up that actor's name because he deserves some kudos. I gotta put some
He
respect on his
he's in this show on HBO that I ran into that they're promoting with Kit Harington.
Yeah, I
Uh
saw the trailer for that.
he was in that show. I was like, whoa, that's the guy, that's Andy from Romulus, and I was like,
Yeah.
what a coincidence that he's on that show.
David
Um,
Johnson. That's his name.
dude, he played his ass off,
Shout
dude.
out to David Johnson.
He's definitely my favorite character of that movie.
Industry's name of that show, by the way. I have to remember that so I can go
Industry,
watch it.
industry.
Yeah.
I was watching. Before I get into a tangent of that, I was watching a little bit of it. Little slow.
Gotcha.
But yeah. What did you think of Andy? I want to know your thoughts on him.
Yeah, like I said, I think he was a very sympathetic character. You know, you feel bad for him because he's bullied literally right out the gate. Um, Looking at him, if you don't know the Alien franchise, you may not even know he was an android until they actually show him doing android things. Like, you know, when he gets jumped and she has to reboot him, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Like people may not even realize like this is not a human being, you know. But that just kind of shows how like technology has progressed at that time. It's like 21 something with the year that it is. But like I said, him as a character, him having that dual role moment, him switching it up and doing what's best for the company, and then also having to switch back and do what's best for Rain. I loved it. I loved him as a character.
What a great character! What a great fucking character, right?
Yeah. I feel like he had a proper arc too. Like even though he was an android, you know, like he went through moments that the other characters didn't really have to go through.
I was really surprised by that. I didn't really like connect with the other characters, only because they were
Yeah,
hating on him so much.
right. I think the only character that I was kind of feeling for was Isabel Merced's character. She's pregnant. And I was like, she's not gonna make it by the end of this movie. I just knew it from looking at her. Like the moment she mentioned that she was pregnant, I was like, yeah, she's out of here.
She
Like I just
wasn't
knew.
she didn't really was there often, right? They were had her
But
in
she
the
didn't have
back.
much to do because she was, you know, on the ship. Then she got taken. So yeah, she didn't have a ton to do until the end.
Dude, this movie was gross too. Like all the, oh, I
Yeah,
just, it
that's
was
what
so
I like about it.
nasty. It
I
was so
love the gore.
nasty.
I
Oh,
love how nasty the alien nest was.
yeah,
Like how it's all these different designs and stuff. Everything looks like melted almost. I mean, even the xenomorphs themselves like have exposed ribs and their tails have like ribs and stuff on them. It's super sick. They're all slimy. They spit everywhere and they bleed acid.
yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. What would you say was your favorite moment in the film?
My favorite moment.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, what
I think
moment might have made you sit up a little bit?
I think my favorite moment was when she was aimbotting just like all these like the alien creatures,
Yeah.
because it was so fucking ridiculous, but it was also so like cool.
Right.
Um,
I think that's my favorite part too, because at the moment I'm like, how are they gonna do this knowing that the aliens bleed acid? And they're like, oh, we're gonna turn on the anti-gravity. I'm like, oh yeah, that is a good thing that happened at the beginning. We found out about the anti-gravity button or whatever they had. So yeah, that was a really cool moment of her aimbotting all the aliens with the 450 rounds that she had in the gun.
yeah, I think
And then of
also,
course our boy Andy coming in to save the day
yeah,
multiple
yeah,
times.
yeah.
Golly, man, he's the MVP of this movie, by the way.
With no doubt about that. Like I think those
Yeah,
were also my favorite moments where, kind of them connecting together in their relationship.
right. And
I really enjoyed
he
that.
just has to step up, and he realizes that too. You know, his mission is do what's best for Rain, and he does it every single time.
Yeah, it was definitely those were the most interesting parts for me, at least. You
Yeah, I
know.
think one of my biggest questionable moments might have to be whenever they were on the elevator shaft and Rain falls, and instead of like the alien like catching her and killing her immediately like an alien would normally do, it kind of sets her down and then growls at her. I thought that was super weird, but I get why they did it for the movie. They have to have a final girl. But yeah, very odd scene to me.
These characters were pretty smart as well. Like there was like questions that I felt like I was asking through the movie, and the
Mhm.
girl was answering pretty quickly, like, "Oh, what are we gonna do about this?" And then she'll give you an answer. What are we gonna do
Right.
about this? And then she will give you an answer. Like, I think
Yeah, and I think, like I said, that's to the film's detriment because it just the answers that they had were that was stuff that we've seen before in the other movies.
I haven't seen
You
them,
know,
so I.
yeah. But it's like with these movies, it's always like, what if you go to work and something happens? Or what if you sent on the job and something happens? Like that's really all these movies kind of come down to. So the fact that like over and over again they keep coming to the same conclusion is it's kind of hilarious to me.
Dude, it's just I really
It's like
enjoy
I'm at the
it.
point now where I kind of want to see a story of people like getting put in this situation and acting realistically and just fumbling horrifically.
I mean, what
I
would
don't
be
think
realistically?
everyone. Oh, everybody just dying off rip.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
That's what
crazy.
happened realistically. Like this alien that they have no idea how to deal with that bleeds acid would just run all over the humans. Like that's how it would go.
I would try to survive at least, dude.
How?
I don't know.
You're gonna
So,
run away from it? That alien is gonna catch you, Lex.
I don't know. But I
That
would
thing has
try.
a
I don't know what I
tail.
would do, but I would
It's
try.
basically a spear. It has a mouth with a mouth that shoots at the speed of a bullet through people's heads. I don't know, bro. I don't know. We might just have to get in a circle and pray together because I don't know how we're all gonna escape that thing.
I don't know, bro. I would try it.
I mean, you can run, but
That's the first thing I would do.
if you shoot it, the ash is gonna burn through the ship. Create a space vacuum. Everything's gonna get sucked through. Pause. You
Which
know.
which ended up happening in the end.
Yes, and I'm so glad that it happened because I mean that question is always something that's like burning at the back of people's minds when they watch alien movies.
That
Like this
alien was
thing,
disgusting.
yeah, it's always like I like how they kind of toy with the ideas of the alien acid,
Hmm.
because sometimes it's super quick, like it burns through things super quick, and then sometimes for the sake of the plot, it's just a super slow burn. And I see that happen multiple times throughout this movie.
Yeah, overall, I liked it, man. I really
Yeah,
did.
I enjoyed the movie, but what made me enjoy the movie more was when I went back and I rewatched Prometheus and Alien Covenant. And those two movies play into this movie so well as far as like the overarching scope.
So you would recommend people to go watch that one?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I will have to try to watch
Es-
those.
Especially spoilers ahead, but the third act of this movie is just kind of nuts.
Yeah, it was
Like the
weird. It was
place
like
it feels so out of place, but I enjoyed every second of it.
really. I was just so confused. I was like, what is going
Yeah.
on here?
Yeah, because the whole thing has always been about aliens crossbreeding with humans, crossbreeding with this species called engineers, who basically founded everything and they hate humans. So the engineers hate humans. They kind of, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but they created the aliens and facehuggers and used them as game. Like they wanted to hunt them. But it's just like this whole backstory to it. And that's why the monster design that we get at the end is basically like a bastard child of a xenomorph mixed with one of the engineers from Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
What a
So it's
gross,
just all
gross,
it's
gross.
all a sick story. It's all about science and just crossbreeding all these different species. And Alien Covenant and Prometheus, there's a character who kind of enjoys this. He's a scientist at this point, and he just wants to see how much he can get away with.
The creators are perverts. Perverts. That's all I'm gonna say. They're a bunch of weirdos, man.
Yeah,
All I gotta say is, man, fuck the company.
yeah.
What a
Wayland
good
Utani.
movie. The
Yeah,
what?
Wayland Utani. The
That's
name
the
of the
company.
company. Yeah.
Fuck the company.
Mhm.
The creators are perverts. A lot of those creatures were like suspect.
Yeah.
It looked like a female. What do you call it? A female genitalia at times. The cocoons. Just a very
Yeah.
disgusting, grotesque movie, but it
The
was
way
good.
things kind of open up slowly.
Yeah, bro.
But I will say, this game really makes me want to play Alien Isolation. I really want to take a go at it. I hadn't seen much gameplay. I've seen gameplay, but not a lot. Like I don't know what the story is, but I do want to play it now because of this movie.
Nah, I'll leave it there. I think I'll leave it there. It was
Don't be
disgusting.
scared, man. Don't be scared.
No, it's not scared. It was just disgusting. But
Sounds like horror. Sounds like you're terrified.
damn, bro, you calling me out here, bro?
Yeah, bro. I mean, you watch the movie at home. You might as well play the game at home too, right?
Might as well, bro. Oh man, the hate, the hate. Okay,
You
so
know?
bro, can you believe it's almost been like 25 minutes of talking about this? That is
Crazy. How that flew
crazy.
by.
That just flew by
See,
like
like we
insanely.
didn't even talk about anything. Like I still got things to put in the
Really?
movie. I still want to talk about. Yeah,
Really?
but I don't want to get into too crazy of spoilers because I know people might want to actually go see this movie.
Damn, I got into the spoilers immediately. I mean,
Hmm. You
if you
jumped
haven't
into
watched
it.
it, you know,
Go and see it in theaters. Support your
go
local
see it.
theaters.
Support your local theaters. Don't do
Even
like
if you have a
me.
membership, just go and see it. Don't
Don't
watch this
do
movie at home until it's on digital.
don't do like me.
You
Okay.
know?
I mean, I don't know if you want to give it a rating or end it at that.
Yeah. So when I first watched this movie, I was sitting at a strong 6 out of 10.
What?
Um, yeah, bro. Like I said, the
That's
issues that I
crazy.
have with like just the low amount of people that are in this movie, I think that's just one of the biggest issues here. Also, the fact that they just have so many callbacks to the original movies. There's a super cringe-worthy part towards at the end of the second act, where a character says something that's said in the first movie, but it's so out of place here. And it's just like, you don't have to do this. Don't have to. Like, it's a phrase that's used, of course, in other movies and media, but it's not Avengers Assemble. You don't have to say this in every single iteration of an alien. But yeah, I was sitting at like a 6. So I think it was okay. But watching Prometheus and Alien Covenant and realizing like that character's motives and how we are where we are now with this movie, I was like, okay, yeah, I see what's going on here.
For
So
me,
I'm at a solid 7 out of 10 now.
I'm at a solid 8. Solid 8.
Okay.
Enjoyed the movie. Enjoyed the characters.
From your home.
Wait, from my home. Yes, exactly. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the set pieces. I
Hmm.
really enjoy those. Reminded me of kind of Star Wars ish, the
Yeah.
way like and the ships and stuff. But pretty good, man.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it. I would recommend
Yeah.
people to go check it out, even if you don't know everything about aliens or whatever. But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
it's still a good movie. It's a good, like I said, it's a good sci-fi movie with horror elements. So if you're a fan of either of those two,
Thriller,
genres,
more thriller. I
yeah,
feel
Thriller's in there too.
felt more
Absolutely.
thrillerish. Oh, one thing I gotta say, I wish there was more aliens. More aliens would have been better. I felt
So more
like
aliens with the same
yeah,
amount of humans.
no, like way more aliens.
But what about
Why?
the humans? What are the
Nah,
aliens going to do if there's just not enough humans?
I don't know, bro. I just wish we would have seen
There's
more
nothing for them to
alien.
do if there's not enough humans.
He was just kind of there trying to scare us. Like it was more of like the impending doom of it all.
I guess, man. I guess.
But that's about it though.
Go and check it out in
Go and
theaters.
check it out. Yes.
It's been out. It's been out since August 16th in theaters. Get your tickets,
Wait, seriously?
bro. You see it right there.
Oh
It
shit,
came out this
bro.
past week. Yeah, I went and saw it on Thursday.
Oh, today's the 20th, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Appreciate you all you guys. Go check out the Dom Trap and go subscribe to him. Go enjoy
Please
his
do.
podcast. That's about it. Unless you have one last thing.
Be safe out there. Love your families. Hug your people.
Nice.
Words to
Peace.
live by. Peace
Hell
out.
yeah, bro.